Recorded Books and One Click Digital present The Year of Indecision, 1946, a tour through the Crucible of Harry Truman's America, by Kenneth Weisbrode, narrated by Jonathan Hogan. Chapter 1. The Uprooted. The trains were full of soldiers, sailors, and Marines coming home. Jason and Ulysses, D'Artagnan, and Johnny Inkslinger are coming home to Muddy Creek. The Easy Chair, January 1946. Millions of Americans had left their homes and families to fight in the war, and now millions of them returned. By June 1946, more than 12 million were back. Munitions contracts worth billions of dollars were terminated. The armed forces at the end of 1947 would shrink to just 1.5 million. The pace and magnitude of the demobilization were such that Harry Truman called it a disintegration. For many, though, it couldn't happen fast enough. Demonstrations took place on military bases and installations across the world. Many more millions would relocate from their war postings in the United States back home, or to some new place altogether. They were not alone. A greater movement of people had not been seen on Earth, it was said, since the Middle Ages. Many tens of millions of refugees, of displaced human beings, moved around the world. Hundreds of destroyed villages, towns, and cities, some like junkyards, and cultures, societies, and lives, and ways of life would never be seen again. People made do like insects. In Berlin, they made Truman think of termites in the ruins. Americans could count themselves lucky. If luck can be counted, let us recall that other nations lost millions of their citizens in the war as combatants and victims of extermination. Many more were left homeless, destitute, and subject to forced labor, including those who were abandoned in one place or another and would not, in some cases, be repatriated for several more years. The dead were just gone. The Soviet Union lost, for example, 27 million. The total number of Americans lost was just over 400,000. It was still time to cheer a victory, albeit in stages. First in France was the liberation in 1944. It would happen later in Italy and other parts of Europe, but not for a while in Asia. Anyway, what was liberation to countries that had been, and would remain, colonies? Meanwhile, to Parisians, VE Day on May 8, 1945, was akin to a burial. To American observers in China, it came with bland urbanity. However, in America, victory in the Pacific followed in August, and Americans were gleeful. Women were seen carousing naked in city streets and in fountains. Couples embraced and did more in public. A uniform was seen as a ticket for almost anything a young man could want. The euphoria did not last long. Now it was America's turn to be disoriented, dizzy. Maybe because Americans also had become accustomed to stages, to gradualism. After all, the war had begun this way, through fits and starts, until the United States joined it following the attack on Pearl Harbor. It finally entered the war, united on the surface, but badly divided beneath. For a large number of Americans had opposed entering it right up to the last month of 1941. The country then unified against infamy, but there was not, many later good war commemorations notwithstanding, an eloquent definition of what the country was fighting for. This also took some time.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?